Welcome to the 2019 Jeep Renegade. Now, Jeep's smallest SUV just received a facelift, and in this video we're going to take a look at the changes on the exterior, the changes in the interior, and then we're going to take this car for a test drive. So with that being said, this is FlexX. Let's get started. But first, many thanks to Zeeuw Automotive in Zwijndrecht, the Netherlands, for making this video possible. All of the information, including a link to this specific Renegade, can of course be found in the description box below. So here we have it, the 2019 Jeep Renegade facelift. The overall car and the shape remains the same, of course, but we do have some exterior touches that make this car a little bit more modern, and it goes with the time a little bit more now. One exterior feature you can already see, the new LED headlights with that sort of circular daytime running light, which unfortunately doesn't light up as an indicator because the indicators are right here in the lower part of the bumper. The 7 elements in the grille, of course, which Jeep is known for, those remain on the new Renegade. We do have a different lower bumper, some sort of more sporty look, more sort of SUV look, with the fog lights also light up as LEDs. So overall the shape of the front is a little bit more sporty, a little bit more modern, especially with the new lights, so it does look way better than the previous Renegade in my opinion. Coming along to the side, we have these sort of wide wheel arches that need to give this car, of course, its off-road look, its SUV look. Also we have 17-inch wheels. I would not pick these because I think they don't really match the sort of sporty look of the car. Here we have the Renegade badge, of course. And then the mirror caps are finished in a different color, sort of an aluminium look. As I said, the side of the car and the sort of overall shape remains the same. We do have completely new LED rear lights, which have sort of that 3D effect when you take a closer look at it. Remains the same sort of idea compared to the previous Renegade, but it does, you know, a little bit more modern, some LEDs in there. And while we're here, we might as well take a look at the trunk, which is not automatic. 351 liters of trunk space. As I said, a very big opening in this sort of square shape, and then we close it manually. I must say I do like this sort of deep blue color on this Renegade with the tinted rear windows. You can also see that sort of shape in the hood. So yeah, as I said, some changes on the exterior, but the changes that are made are a very modern, give this car a more sporty, modern look, and it goes with the time, as I said. So with that being said, let's now jump inside and let's take a look at the interior. So the interior of the 2019 Jeep Renegade has also received some updates for the facelift. We do have a bigger infotainment system, we'll come to that in a second. A digital screen in the center of the instrument cluster, and some sort of updated steering wheel. Let's just start the car, foot on the brake and press the start stop button right there. The car comes into life. Here we have, as I said, the bigger screen of the infotainment system, and here is the center screen of the instrument cluster. You can scroll through that with this part of the steering wheel, so the left part. You can scroll through the different sort of settings in this screen. So it's trip information. This is your audio, so if you have a phone connected or something else. Messages, screen setup, settings. You can just view the settings here, and this is your speedometer. Sort of I think this screen is going to be the most efficient here. Vehicle info, as I said, you can scroll through a lot of different information. Tire pressure. So there's a lot of information. This is for example the driver assistance. So this is your adaptive cruise control, and yeah, this is the fuel economy we have just seen. So let's go back to the speedometer. Here we go. You can also press OK for miles per hour. So that is very convenient, I think, also, because this is, all in all, a Jeep is an American car, even though this specific Renegade is not built in the United States. Then we have the steering wheel, which is a very big steering wheel with a lot of buttons on it, very big buttons also. As I said, this is for that screen. Then we have the buttons for the phone connections, and this will set your adaptive cruise control and cruise control. And these are also the buttons for the driver assistance. Then we come to the new infotainment system, which, as I said, is larger compared to the previous Renegade. And what you will find is that this system actually responds pretty well. So the response, it takes a while for the system to show the menu when you press the button. But the response, it is pretty good. So let's go to navigation, I'm already there, view map. And let's see how this works, the zooming in and zooming out, because that is always the thing that you're going to use the most while driving, of course. That is pretty good, I must say. So if you click the X here, it will center it back to the car pretty quickly also. So that is thumbs up. Here we have your radio settings, the media, and as you can see here, the map remains in the center of the screen the whole time, except for the climate, yes. So here you can also change the climate, but Jeep has decided to also remain with the classic climate control buttons. So you can do that in two ways. And then we come to the apps section. Now what this is all the apps available in the car. So also apps that are below here, because you can change the bar that is right here. So for example, we do have the option for heated seats, which you would normally find somewhere down there. But you can see here, the driver heated seats is right there. Now imagine you want to have a little bit easier access to a heated seat. You tap and hold, and you place it somewhere over here, wherever you like. So for example, I want to change controls with the heated seats, and there you go. And I'll always have the function to put my heated seats on from the menu down here. Now imagine I want, for example, my heated wheel, tap and hold, and replace that with the heated seats, and then you have your heated steering wheel in the bottom right there. Very convenient. As I said, all the apps are in here. So let's go to the other page. Settings and audio settings are right there also. So let's open settings. Obviously, very straightforward. Your normal settings, your normal car settings, and then back to the navigation. So as I said, the responsiveness is great of this system. Zooming in and zooming out works perfectly fine. And yeah, that's basically the infotainment system. Very good system in my opinion. So thumbs up to Jeep. And then below we have all the buttons for the climate control. Here we have the gear lever, automatic gearbox, and then of course the e-brake, start stop off, and traction control off. So we do have a good sized interior, very spacious. As I said, it is a Renegade, it is a Jeep, so you're high up the road. Great visibility, there's a lot of natural light that comes in here. We'll come back to that when we're going to drive the car. Let's take a look at the seats for a second. Comfortable seats. So yeah, I think we pretty much handled everything here in the interior. Let's now go ahead and take this car for a test drive. One of the first things I notice about the Jeep Renegade, and when driving it as a European, it feels a little bit American. So there is some sort of American vibe that comes to you when you drive this car. If you don't want to buy a pickup truck or a real American car, for example like a Mustang or a Grand Cherokee, this car provides that small little American sort of feeling when you drive this car. The big hood in front of you, you're high up the road, so it's SUV, it's big, it's a real Jeep, and you feel that straight away when you drive it. Along that, it is a pretty comfortable car. When I say pretty, I mean it's a very comfortable ride. Whenever you're driving and wherever you're driving, it is a very comfortable car, high up the road. I must say this car is on 17-inch rims, and I think when you go a little bit bigger with the rims, I think the car becomes a little bit more uncomfortable. But as it is now, it is a pretty dang comfortable vehicle to drive. Next to that, the car is also very spacious. There's a lot of natural light that comes in here. Huge rear view mirrors, they're absolutely huge. So again, a lot of natural light in this car. Everything is easy to reach. All of the buttons right here, the infotainment system, easy to use. The only thing is that this rear view mirror feels like 1,000 kilometers away. You really have to stretch your arm in order to reach it. But that is then the only thing that is not easy to reach, I guess. The rest of this car, as I said, it is very spacious. You feel that it's a big car. You feel that you have this huge hood in front of you, which is not as huge when you look at the outside. But as I said, it provides a sort of American feel when you drive. And for me, my personal opinion, I like that. Now it's good that this car is quiet. The engine is quiet, there's not a lot of wind noise, there's not a lot of road noise, so you can have a normal conversation with the one who's sitting next to you. Until you put the indicator on, which is loud. This indicator is loud. So it's not annoying or anything, but just to let you know that when you want to have a conversation, you have to raise your voice. Just kidding, of course. I just wanted to mention that the indicator is pretty loud. And also here you notice the sort of lag, or I wouldn't say lag, but the gearbox is not perfect when you want to accelerate from a standstill. You really notice that you have to give a lot of throttle in order to get the car moving, but then when you're moving around 5 to 10 kilometers an hour, you feel that the throttle you're giving is too much, and then the car starts to move. But you need to give that throttle in order to get the car moving. So it's sort of a balance that you have to find to give the right amount of throttle, and after 1 second that you're not getting pushed back in the seat or you're not hitting the car in front of you. So that is the sort of imperfection with the gearbox. The rest of this gearbox, it's very fluent, it's good, the response is great. Also while driving, you want to accelerate, it shifts down for you almost instantly. So here's the thing I said. See? And that's the exact same throttle I'm giving when I want to get this car moving. But if I don't give that amount of throttle, then this car is not going to move. Now here's the second imperfection I have with the gearbox. It literally just happened. When the car shifts from 4th to 5th gear, or at least when you're driving up to 50 kilometers an hour, it struggles in finding the right gear. And you notice that because the car starts to vibrate. You feel the engine vibrating a little bit. When it tries to find the gear, when it tries to go into the gear. And that is sometimes a little bit annoying because you feel the car vibrating, you think, yo, just go into gear, and the car is not doing it. For this car, it is very easy to steer this around corners, and it is sharp, it's easy, you really feel in control. You can hear over speed bumps. It's just immensely comfortable. I am really surprised by the level of how comfortable this car is, because it is extremely good. Something that I would not have expected from Jeep when I saw this car. I mean, yeah, probably it leans over a lot, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. When you take this turn, it is such a good car. So yeah, I'm really starting to like the Jeep Renegade. I wasn't a big fan of the car before it got facelifted because it just looked a little bit dull, a little bit boring. But now with the new headlights, the new sort of lower bumper that gives it an extra sporty look, and now I've driven it, I'm really starting to like it. It is immensely comfortable. You're high up the road. You have this feeling of safety. The car has brake assist, the car has adaptive cruise control. So the safety systems are here. We have parking sensors, front and in the rear. There's no reverse camera, which I think is some sort of a shame. But I'm quite starting to like it. So thank you so much for watching the video of the 2019 Jeep Renegade. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, you can do that by clicking the link in the top left corner right now. Once again, a massive shout out to Zeeuw Automotive in Zwijndrecht, the Netherlands for making this video possible. And once again, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.